Okay. Well, hello, Max.
Hello.
My name's Leigh Darby, and this is Leigh Darby's Sex Therapy Sessions with the Sinners podcast. I'm using this platform to help and assist people with any sort of information that they might need regarding their own intimacy issues, worries, or just curiosities, really. So
I'll be helping you today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a first. I don't think a man's ever helped me in that way before.
Probably haven't been with a real man, but yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Promises. Oh my gosh, this guy. Well, welcome to the show, Matt.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
What do you want to know?
Oh God, I forgot what was going to be then. Yeah, okay. Well, we've got a couple of things. So basically, we're talking about intimacy. Okay. Sex and intimacy is something which I value very highly. It's something I feel very strongly about. I've always been a very sexual person, and I enjoy helping people explore their own sexualities. Okay. And do it in the right way, do it in a safe way, and, an environment where everybody's sort of willing and able, and everyone is got consensual is the word. Yes, that's something which is very important to me.
Consent, definitely.
Yes,
that's the most important thing.
So what's one thing you'd wish you knew about intimacy, maybe previously when you was younger, and what you do know now, what you've learned a lesson from?
Women like to be pleasured before they're penetrated. That's something that I've learned a little bit more as I've got wiser with age.
And how did you discover that?
Time. And obviously being with women who are open with what they like as well, and also asking. I think that's a big thing.
I think communication is key. That's what I stress to people all the time when they're concerned about how to satisfy a woman, or what to do, or how to get to know a woman a little bit more intimately and stuff like that. Communication is key in all of these aspects. And and as I say, I think I had a conversation with someone last time, and his thing was he was worried about him being satisfied too quickly before his woman was being satisfied. And I said that's exactly what he needs to do. Yeah. Pleasure her first, honestly. And I don't think I've met a man that's not enjoyed pleasuring first.
No, I think that's the fun of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like being able to have the woman that you engaged with already pleasured, wet, juicing, nipples poking out and all sorts. And, before you even try to enter with your...
It's key. And if you've got quite a large member as well, I think it's definitely key to be able to get the juices flowing to that area.
But that's a myth as well. What? That I was going to log off. I don't think all women like big willies either.
No, it's not a case of whether they like big willies as such. It's a case of every vagina is an amazing part of the body, and it's adaptable. It's like a muscle. It can expand and contract, because that's what it does when it's in its right mode, when it's working correctly. That's what its ability is to be able to do. So it's a case of, if a woman, well, I suppose that every vagina's got a different depth to it as well. So maybe that's why you need to find your perfect person. This is why it's difficult, I suppose, when people meet somebody and they only have sex with that one person. But obviously that's their choice, if that's for you. But I just think variety is the spice of life, and you need to explore other avenues and other sizes, and find what fits. That could come
with toys, though. It doesn't necessarily have to be other willies, especially if people are in relationships, you don't want to go saying, you want to try different... Yeah,
and there's other parts of your bodies you can use as well.
Well, you can use your feet. Feet? Yeah, man. Feet are very sensitive, so touching that's something that I enjoy doing.
What are your feet very sensitive?
Yeah, man, I like playing
So-
with a nice wet hairy pussy with my feet.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So
it's a nice sensation.
you've got good control over your toes.
Yeah, slap my fingers. Probably won't go as deep and probably can't move them as fast.
So, well, I think we've just probably answered this one. Can you share a time when you've learned something surprising about yourself through a relationship? The fact that you can use your foot.
Yeah, that's something.
I don't think I've ever been speechless in any situation.
I told you I'm going to help you out today.
I was thinking more on the proviso of hands or fingers or fists.
Fingers, yeah, that's just standard though, isn't it? Like they're just the normal things.
Yeah.
Like you want to explore a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. So, what advice could you give to somebody now of your age of what you've learned from your past experiences throughout your sex life, your adult sex life?
Don't be afraid to, like I said, speak.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to explore the woman as well, and obviously don't be afraid to have your boundaries. I think that's the most important thing. People are afraid to have boundaries. You know, we live in a society where it's like free for all, but doesn't have to.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do something, you don't have to do it.
I feel like we need to strip it back to basics a little bit. This is part of what I feel quite strongly about, because, you know, I'm a very open, liberated sexual person, but I feel like we've missed a few steps because, like you said, society's just got a little bit crazy and a little bit wild, and everything's acceptable and everything's a go. So when young adults are coming into their sex lives and they're discovering what they might like or might not like, they end up going down certain rabbit holes which probably aren't best for them, as you've said from one of your past experiences. Do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like we do need to strip it back to basics with just, I don't want to use the word normal because there's no such thing as the word normal, because everyone's very, very different. But basic,
strip it down to the Kama Sutra.
Yeah, basic intimacy, basic love, basic, you know,
pleasing one another rather than, and I think that's a big thing as well.
It doesn't always have to be whips and chains. It doesn't, does it?
No, far from that. Yeah. Like I think it's more to do with the connection.
Yes.
Do you know, if you feel connected and intimate, then that's the most important thing, you know. And
I feel there's societal pressures on people because we're living in such an extreme society at the moment. It's crazy times. There's some crazy shit going on, as you know. You know, there's also even things like sex parties, even things like different people swinging and stuff like that. You know, years ago when I was heavily involved in that industry, it was very, you know, everyone had a bit of a normal kink. They might have just liked watching the partner have some normal intercourse with somebody else, or some people actually just kind of like having intercourse with each other in front of people because they've got that sort of, they want that
audience.
Yeah, and that I feel like that's why I kind of sort of fell into it a little bit more, because I like to
perform.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good performer as well.
Well, you know, I have had my past experiences, which I've enjoyed fully each and every time, but I've always been very adamant to not do anything that I would feel embarrassed or ashamed about further on down the line with myself. And obviously with things being, a lot of my stuff being filmed and going on the internet and stuff like that, I've always thought...
How do you find that now? Looking back at it, do you enjoy watching yourself back?
I don't really watch porn.
Do you not?
No, I know that sounds crazy. I prefer to make it. I prefer to perform and do my own porn. But even from the start, when I started filming stuff, I was very conscious that it was going to be there forever. Yeah. So I was always very, very conscious of not doing anything that, just to put it in simple terms, not that I want my kids to ever come across or see anything that I've ever filmed, but if they was to, I wouldn't be embarrassed about it. I'm proud of what I've done. I'm proud of my performances. I'm proud of every aspect of it.
Have you got a favourite one?
I think the fans have got a favourite one.
Have you got a favourite one? What would you recommend us to go and watch?
Oh, gosh. There's so many. There's so many. But I think the ultimate one was the bath scene, what I did with Geordie. And yeah, that just went crazy.
That's going to go crazy again now.
Everyone loved that scene. It was just, it was a nice scene. It was very sensual. You know, we enjoyed each other. I enjoyed doing it, and I'm Pisces, so I just loved being in the water. Maybe it just made me feel even more sexual. I don't know, anything to do with water.
So that's your favourite place to do it then, in water?
Yeah, I have done it quite a bit in water. Well, still, it doesn't work for some people though. I've actually fucked in the sea.
That's a bit salty.
Yeah, it did turn out a bit
Not
salty.
spicy. That was a bit salty.
But it was enjoyable. I do have pool
I've had
sex.
pleasure in the sea.
Yeah, pool sex, sea sex.
You can get a bit dry though, don't you think?
Yeah.
In the pool.
That's why, yeah, because of the chlorine.
Yeah, it's like it's washing it at the same time, especially if you're giving it some.
Got to, yeah, that's why it's a bit more of an intimate, slow, keep it in more instead of the...
Go for the shower.
Yeah, shower's always a good shout as well.
Yeah.
But you've got to have a good shaped shower that's got a good steady
force, and you can cover the both of you.
Yes, so you can.
You need the monsoon effect.
You need something where you can wedge your legs.
Like so you can
So
get
you're
a hand
not going
up.
to slide. You can lean forward. I know that
You're going to have to design a shower
I've
for that.
practiced this many times, and I know I see some showers when I check into hotel rooms, and I'm like, yeah, this one's definitely going to be one of them. I can definitely have fun in there. So it's just about the dimensions, really.
Making sure that you don't slip.
Yeah, because we don't want no injury. I don't actually. And last time I was doing a solo video in the shower. I was trying to be all sexy and then messing about and soaping myself up, and the cameraman was coming in closer to me. I literally slid right on the floor.
So that's the other thing as well. There's a lot of dangers, isn't there, to trying to perform.
But I do like a lot. I've got quite a few shower contents out there. I don't know. Maybe I'll just I like feeling myself in the shower. Yeah, it's always good. Anyway, we're not talking about me. Why am I getting on me? What's your type of quirk or go-to? What you enjoy?
I enjoy rubber gloves and oil.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Okay,
and
so
nice
like a latex glove, which is the ones which are closer to the skin.
Yeah, my little thing.
Yeah.
With oil.
Okay.
I leave it to the imagination.
Do you use baby oil or coconut oil?
Rapeseed oil.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it smooth?
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's smoother. It's not too oily, and you get a nice.
Okay. Because I go for coconut oil because baby oil tends to give me thrush.
Yeah, well,
and that's not good.
Try rapeseed oil.
And there's certain aspects of certain products what you can use. Sorry, I actually think it's a key situation because I will just pause here, whatever it is. 1 sec. Oh, I feel like. Sorry, I need to just adjust it. The phone wouldn't stop, and it is on aeroplane.
It's the emergency one's coming through.
Yeah. Right. Right. Sorry. Right, where was we? Gloves, and also, when did you discover that was a fetish of yours?
I think of probably about 10 years ago. 10, 15 years ago.
And what was it that made you discover that?
Yeah, about 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
What did you come across that made you realise you felt horny at rubber gloves and oil?
Well, I've always liked to touch the female body. I've always liked to caress and feel and, please, and it just enabled my hands to move a lot easier and glide a lot smoother over the body.
But with the rubber gloves, does that stop your touch though?
No, because you can still
feel through the rubber.
You can still feel through the rubber.
Do you think the rubber
and
is
it's more it's more kind of the you can feel the energy of obviously the pleasure. So you don't really necessarily have to touch it with your bare hands. Well, I do anyway.
What, so you whip the gloves off at a certain point?
Well, it depends. Might just leave them on all the way through.
Okay. So you find it glides?
Yeah,
better.
man, it gives you a better feel. It's easier to maneuver, so you can be a lot more sensitive, and sensual with your touch.
So you like to incorporate massage a lot into your sexual activities?
Yeah, I think relaxation is very important.
Yeah, totally.
At the start.
I do like a good massage. I was on holiday not so long ago and booked into the spa, and I was on my front and it was a gentleman massaging me, and his hands were getting closer and closer to my crotch area underneath through my legs, and I feel like he was just like getting closer and closer to see what my reaction was going to be. Obviously, I'm not going to stop him. Obviously.
Lucky guy.
Yeah. Lucky me. I had a very nice, happy ending on that massage. But I think last time when a woman did it as well, it was sensual. It is nice. And like you said, the flow and the glide works.
Yeah.
And you just sort of, that's the whole point of it, isn't it? Getting the blood flowing to certain parts and because that's when it feels more tactile for the person receiving the strokes. You don't need to go too intense or too.
It's already ready.
Yeah.
You're just finishing it off, basically.
I think I need to get myself booked in for a massage now.
Definitely recommend.
Yes, definitely. Yes. Put that on my notes.
Massage.
Yes.
With that. Latex gloves.
Okay.
And rapeseed oil.
Right. Okay. God, sorry, my mind's going. We're going elsewhere.
Already thinking about a massage.
I actually am.
Would you like me to give you a massage?
So, is that something which you do?
Well, it's not.
Yeah. What?
The sinners have coached me into it.
What? So
they said put it all over you.
What? The oil?
Oil and massage.
Maybe let's get the show out of the way and see what happens. I'm not sure whether there's space. Maybe we could we can work something out.
I'm sure we could.
Okay. Anyway, getting distracted, sidetracked. So, gosh, I don't think many people have had me lost for words. So, what's your best advice to keep the spark alive in a relationship if you're in a long-term relationship with somebody?
Trying new things, like not necessarily, like I said, you've got your boundaries, but places, outfits, role playing. Maybe if you don't watch porn, maybe watch a little bit of porn. Incorporate toys. Toys. There's a lot of toys that you can get to use on your partner. You know, so yeah, man.
Would you like toys to be used on you?
On my feet, maybe. That's about it.
It doesn't always have to be the obvious penetration with toys. Okay. There are vibrational toys, and I
don't really look at toys for men. I feel that a woman's got all that she needs to please me. You know, she's got 2 hands, she's got a mouth, she's got a vagina. She can even use her feet if she wants to. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I feel she's got everything needed.
I suppose oil helps when you're doing anything regarding feet. Every time I've done any type of intimacy and my feet have been involved, then oil definitely helps.
All the way through. Just get the rubber sheet out and just slap the oil on, and that's it. And then it's just
go for it.
Just gliding. Everything's just sliding and gliding, and it's just all slippery and just all sloppy and that before you even start.
Oh, getting a little bit hot here. Okay. So, oil is your advice.
Yeah, oil.
We keep on coming back to this oil
Use
situation.
the oil.
Right, okay, so yeah, that I would say that as well. You know, just again, communication is the key. This is why I like these conversations with people, because it's getting other people's sort of like ways how they can try and advise anyone else who's looking to explore something different. You know, I get a lot of inquiries of people asking how to potentially incorporate another person into the sex life, whether that be going to a swinging club or going to a party, or just maybe getting a professional over to come and spend some time with them because they're curious about having a threesome, whether that be another man involved or another woman involved.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on that?
If that's something that people feel that they want to engage in, then so be it. Like, engage in it, do it safely, but always remember that there's going to talk about it, like, and make sure you talk in depth and take small steps. You know, where you talk about swinging, there's a thing called soft swinging where you don't have to, probably just little touching and a little kissing, and see how you feel about that before you actually go the whole hug and start doing something which
that you may possibly regret. And
also you gotta see if your relationship is strong enough for that as well. If you're having to hide a lot of your relationship regardless, then don't even come and ask to do that, because guilt's gonna catch up with you sooner or later in some way, shape or form, and it might be used against you as a well, you've done this, or you've made me do this and I didn't want to do this and I didn't want to do that. And so I think before you even go to those extents, you need to be in a completely open and honest relationship before anything.
Yeah, I definitely say that, honestly, because that's what I feel what the problem is with a lot of people. They jump into things too quickly, and like you said, they haven't had the conversation and explored each other's boundaries. They haven't explored what each other might be comfortable with and might not be comfortable with, and sometimes people tend to agree to things to try and keep the other person happy. And then that's a recipe for disaster, isn't it? As I feel like if you are wanting to explore and be curious about things regarding your sex life and intimacy, then you need to just get it off your chest.
So what would you say for somebody who is with a partner who is what you would call a prude, who doesn't want to explore, but then their partner wants to explore?
Yeah. This is why I find a lot of people come through on the OnlyFans pages and start talking to girls behind the partner's back, because they've got curiosities that they want to explore, because they feel the partner's a prude. I think 8 times out of the 10, the partner's not that prudish. I feel like they don't know how to address the conversation in the first place, I feel, and that's on both parts. Both people, it was the person who is wanting to explore, who thinks the partner's prudish. The partner might not be prudish, they just don't know how to express themselves about what they might like to do. Or some people tend to clam up when people start obviously talking about sex. It's, I want to sort of normalize the conversation about sex. It's okay to talk about it.
Well, if you're going to do it and you want it to be done correctly, then you're going to have to speak about it.
And people have just, like I said, I feel like we've jumped to too many steps. We've got a society where people are going crazy and doing all sorts of stuff in the open, and but then it's making a divide from people who've just got a sort of normal curiosity, which is just coming in there within their relationship, and then they end up going on the internet and finding this and finding that, and it's not the best place to. And I do blame porn for a lot of things, because porn's not real. It's not real life. It's not.
It's not. A lot of the times.
Yeah. Obviously, I feel OnlyFans has helped a lot of real couples have a platform to perform, and they enjoy spending time with each other, and a lot of people have found and discovered them and enjoy watching their real couple sex, because it's got that reality to it. It's got that sort of again, I feel like I keep on saying the word normal, but I don't want to say the word, because but not too extreme. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be,
Cut and edited.
Yeah.
To make it look a lot more graphic and a lot more in depth than what
which is, again, it forces people into feeling that they have to do things like that to fit into being adventurous.
Yeah.
You can still be adventurous just by talking about sex, and sometimes people's fantasies and sometimes people's curiosities won't go even any further than just the talking points, because you can talk about it while you're having sex with your partner, and that can be enough to get you excited, and that can be enough to sort of give you that sort of curiosity and the satisfaction of exploring it just by talking about it without having to actually do it. And this is where I feel people feel forced and pressurized into situations. So talk it out first, I would say.
There's a saying I like to use, it's a nice thought. Sometimes it's better to have
a nice thought
than it to actually be a reality. So just talking those fantasies through with your partner, as you said, is it can be
just as satisfying,
if not more, because you're then going to be able to have a better engagement with your partner as well, because you're both aroused off things that you're talking about.
The thought of it.
And so
I feel like that's quite a good advice to give to people, to actually talk it out properly and thoroughly before they even go to jump off to the deep end and just go and end up doing things, because you feel like as soon as a line has been crossed, you can never go back over it.
You can't really. If you're thinking about bringing somebody else into the room, you bring a guy in and he obliterates your woman, or a woman
do you
comes
not
in.
think you could ever get over that in that situation?
If you haven't spoke about it and you're not 100% clear of where you want to be, then those are the situations you can find yourself in. It can be a sticky situation. So it is, you have to talk about it first. Make sure that you're exactly on the right page.
Yes.
Because the moment you cross that line, you can't go back. There's no going back.
So communication, key. Talk it out first.
Play
it out with each other.
Play it out with each
other. Yeah. I feel
do a little bit of soft play if you're anything. Go out and get your girl to go and kiss a geezer or something and see how that feels and that, or ask a geezer to squeeze your missus up, or do you know what I mean? Just little things. If that's what you're into, then you don't just have to throw your missus in the deep end and end up in a swingers club,
or throw your fella in the deep end,
or your fella. Do you know what I mean? So man.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's quite good advice to give to people. So I feel like that's definitely something which people have got a lot of, like I said, a lot of inquiries do come in asking about things like that, and asking about how to bring different people into it. But also the pleasure of a woman first and foremost is what you touched on in the first place.
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of guys, talk to me about feeling inferior and inadequate to their missus' toys. But it's one of them things where it's like, well, you can probably have more fun with
the toys
and
they can actually help you out a little bit as well. It depends on how energetic you feel.
Tie your missus up, make sure she can't move, and then put the toys on her, and then see where she's at.
So you are a bit of a dark horse, and you've got a bit of kink.
Like I said,
get the oil and the rubber gloves out, get the ties out.
Get the ties out.
Okay. So how often do you think you should have a session like that? Because that's not your average standard session, is it? That's not something that you're going to be doing on a daily.
No, it's not something
is
that
it?
you would do every day.
How often do you think, if that's what your kink is, how often do you think you should explore your kink?
Obviously, you're going to incorporate pieces of them in your regular intercourse.
Yes.
But obviously something like that, it's depending on your circumstances. You know, you might have kids, and you know, you might not have the time, you might not have the resources. It might be something that you have to.
But I'm a strong believer in, I feel like you should make the time. You should find the space. And how often do you think a couple should have sex a week?
Personally,
Yes.
at least every day.
At least every day.
But-
If you're in a relationship and you're living with the person,
Yeah, at least every
then
day.
at least every day.
Like men, like naturally wake up in the morning like aroused.
So do women.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's like it's
Yeah.
kind of like I'm not. But then it depends if you're. There should be some kind of intimacy, even if it's just, you know, kissing and cuddling and a little feel, and, you know, just maybe just get your woman a little bit wet and then excited. You don't even have to do anything. Just get her a bit excited and then just kind of leave her just in that state, you know, and build it up for a little bit.
Build it up
Yeah,
and then
build it
go to
up
work and then
for a
send
couple
us
of-
some
for-
naughty messages. Yeah. Okay.
Build
That's
it up.
the anticipation and the excitement of what's to come later.
Yeah.
Yeah. That actually works. Women do like that. Women like that a lot, to be fair. I'm not sure whether men can deal with it as much
But
as
then-
women.
That's, yeah. You get more pleasure out of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The sex ends up being even more intense.
Yeah.
Once if you build it up, do you know what I mean? If you work to it, so it's definitely a good shout.
I'm giving you all the tips here, guys. I told you.
He definitely is giving you all the tips. He's a man of experience. I can tell you're very experienced.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was something that, you know, for me, the reason how I became experienced stemmed from sex kind of being made really bad. You know, my mum made it out to be really, really bad. You know, like any form of interaction with a female, like my mum would come down on me like a ton of bricks. So when I kind of got to the point where I started to, you know, my first female that I was with, she was older than me, so I've been with quite a few older women.
And that gives you that experience. doesn't
Yeah,
it?
obviously.
What do you think? So what's the difference in your eyes between an older woman and a woman of the same age as you, or even a younger woman?
Obviously, at different stages of my life, I experienced it as well. So I would have a different perception. But I feel that probably an older woman that they know their, like an older man, they know their self a little bit more. They've had that experience, so they know what it is that they enjoy and what they don't enjoy. So, and obviously, yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
They know a bit more.
Just comes from experience themselves.
more
But what if
experience.
somebody has lived a very sheltered life?
But then again, then that's it's circumstances.
Yeah.
I don't think I've experienced a woman, an older woman that was sheltered, so I can't really speak on that.
Okay. So would you say you've learned everything you know from...
Not necessarily from older women. I think like I'm kind of like, if I enjoy something, I want to know about it.
Yeah.
I enjoy women, like I enjoy pleasuring women, so I want to know what things
What
pleasure a
works.
woman, what don't work.
Yeah. Do you think women are quite simple once you've sussed it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With regards to sexual wise, yeah, I can't
Okay.
say on anything else. Like, but
Yeah.
when it comes to sex, yeah.
Okay, so what advice would you give to younger males?
Again,
what
man.
you could give now. So
Confidence. You
Yeah,
need to be
be confident
confident
in
in
what you're
yourself.
doing.
Yeah, and like that myth, like I said, not all women like big willies, so don't worry if you've got a small willy and everything.
yeah,
There's plenty
no,
of
I agree
things
with that.
that
There's
you
lots
can
of other
do.
things you can do to
Yeah, man, it's-
satisfy. And like I said, it's the vagina's an amazing part of the body. You know, it can react.
Like a little flower, isn't it?
Yeah, and once you get it blooming, literally, you know,
It opens up.
yeah, so, totally. So, you know, treat it right, and it will definitely enjoy the pleasures of you, whether that be from your latex glove covered hands or something else.
But before you get to that, like it's again, it's about feeling comfortable with that person and in those surroundings. Couldn't just whip out the gloves and be like, well, I got these, I brought these to come and play.
I think most females, if you whip them out on the first instance, would be turning back around.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, what are you doing?
I've seen a couple of crazy horror movies where things like that have been considered. But to some women, that would actually be quite exciting.
Wow.
You know, everyone's different, I'm sure. I wonder how many people have got like a rubber glove fetish.
That's a question.
Yeah,
how many people like rubber gloves?
Yes.
How many of you have tried rubber gloves?
Yeah.
Would any of you try rubber gloves?
I know. And I'm going to after this conversation.
Do you know what I mean?
I think I'm one. No, tell a lie. I probably have had. Yeah.
You probably had the marigolds.
No, I've actually had the latex. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because you can actually feel through the latex ones because they are close to your skin, aren't they? So
the non-chalk ones,
and they've got they've got a very smooth feel. So I'm not going to go into detail of my experience with the latex gloves, but I'll save that for a video. Maybe I'll show it practically. Maybe you could show me practically, Max.
Oof, I might have to charge you for that.
Oh, okay. What's your rate?
The magics.
What's your rate?
I don't know. I haven't worked them out yet. I don't know. It's all coming at me a bit too fast.
Oh, okay. So, would you not be interested in giving me a rubber glove massage?
Oh, I don't know. We'd have to see.
You've got me all excited about it now.
Oh. You're being serious, aren't you?
Yeah. What, did you think I was joking?
I don't know. We're going to have to see. We'll have to see.
I've just been pied.
We never know what the future holds.
Oh, okay. So promises.
No
right.
promises.
Anyway, sorry, getting sidetracked. I'm just my brain. I'm feeling very sexual today. I've got some different bits which I need to get filmed. So
You've got some stuff you need to get off your chest.
Or some stuff I need to get on my chest.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I think, is there anything else you'd like to touch on with me?
Oh, it depends. Are we talking physically, or are we talking literally, or are we talking...
Well, anything goes in this place, Max. You should know this by now.
I'm sitting on my hands. I'm being a good boy.
What would you like to touch on?
What else do we need to talk about? Is there anything else?
I don't think so. I think we've touched on all the pointers that they wanted us to touch on.
We've done all the pointers.
We've given some advisories. We've given some people some different ways to feel comfortable and confident about talking about different aspects within the relationship, to explore some new avenues.
We've proven the techniques without even starting that. Talking about sex.
Yeah, talking about it. Definitely
that works.
Can get you
just
going.
talking about fantasies and things that you enjoy doing, can
Okay.
lighten the mood.
Yes, totally. So I think we could leave it here now.
Sinners!
I think Max is getting a little bit nervous.
No, I'm cool.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.